Hello Internet! The 2022 World Championships are just around the corner. Now, as you're watching this, they've happened. You know who the World Champion is. I don't, because I'm talking to you from the past. This is the Sunday before Worlds. This is the 14th of August, and we've got a lot to catch up on, haven't we? It's been a long time since I've been here on YouTube uploading anything, so, apologies if any of you have been, sitting there waiting for an upload. I doubt, but either way, we've got a lot to catch up on. I'm going to take you through the team. I'm going to do some practice games, both on Showdown and on the Switch as well. So I'm going to do a few videos. I don't know how many, basically, but for this week we'll be hopefully doing some relaxed videos because, although of course I have done some preparation myself, I haven't played a whole lot. I haven't played a whole lot through the whole season. So I need to de-rust myself a little bit, and this is what I'm going to be doing in this video, basically. And these videos this week, I'm going to be de-rusting, I'm going to be getting back used to playing VGC, using this team, and hopefully doing well, hopefully climbing the ladder, but we'll see. I did do a few games, well actually I played an evening worth, here on Showdown 2 nights ago, and honestly, it didn't go too well, but I did recognise that I wasn't making the best moves and kind of got into bad habits and stuff as well too. But anyway, before we get into all that, let's take you through, let's take you through my season first, because I've just this morning, tweeted out, if you follow me on Twitter, hello Twitter people, I asked a question, what do I need to take? Because I have not played a single competitive game in a real-life tournament on the Switch. I am one of the, I must be one of the very, very few people in the world who earned their World's invite for the 2020 World Championships purely in the year of 2019. I won, what was at the time before the last regional in Sheffield, the last UK regional, which gave me like 200 points, and then from the locals, I gained another 100 points, 110 points, whatever. So I got my invite, purely in the Ultra Series, using my Mewtwo Groudon team with Mega Gengar, all that lot, Tapu Lele, Choice Scarf, Togedemaru. That seems like a lifetime ago now. And, for some people it is a lifetime ago. There are people, there are little tiny humans that were born at the beginning of 2020, at the end of 2019, that can probably walk now, actually, yeah, and like maybe say a few words and stuff. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, so yeah, like that was it. And honestly, even before that last Sheffield regional, the one that I won at the end of 2019, I was thinking to myself, maybe this will be my last World Championships. It's in London. I'm kind of moving away from Pokemon a little bit. So last World Championships, let's just see how it goes. Obviously winning that tournament, made things a lot easier for me, getting my invite for 2020. But then obviously COVID happened, and, I mean, everything was, upheaved, wasn't it, for everyone in the world pretty much. So, there was jobs and this and that and other stuff to worry about, and surviving. I've got a completely different setup here as well. I am actually still in the same flat, but I've got, a different TV and things to sit on and all this kind of stuff now. So, like, everything has changed. But yeah, I just basically, I did play in, a couple of the Players' Cups and stuff, but I really just wanted to, take a step back from Pokemon and just sort of, reset, reanalyze how I felt about Pokemon and just take it easy. And, I've been lucky, I've not had to fight for championship points at any of these recent regionals and internationals and all that lot. So I literally have just been sitting back. I have been watching kind of what's been going on, but I haven't really been playing a whole lot myself. There's been, chunks of months and months and months at a time that I've just not played at all. So, that's maybe going to go against me at my chances at Worlds this year. But on the other hand, because I have been a bit more relaxed about it, I have just been working on this one team, really. I mean, I have made a few other teams that I sort of tried, I did like Yveltal. I did try and make a Gravity team, but there isn't really any, like, it's not really viable in this restricted metagame, especially since it took gravity away from Mewtwo and a lot of other Pokemon. And we've ended up basically with this. This is the team that I feel most comfortable with, most confident with. I'm not going to do like an in-depth report, right now on the spot, but maybe after the World Championships, when I've used it a bit more, I'll do a bit more of an in-depth report, or just show it properly. I don't know, but basically it is quite an offensive team. I have got, and there are things in this team that you do commonly see in other teams, like the combination of Calyrex and Whimsicott and Regieleki. You do see that trio quite often paired on offensive teams, maybe with a I was going to say maybe with a Whimsicott as well, but yes, I just mentioned Whimsicott. So I have got those three. My Regieleki is physical. I was using physical actually way before that became, popular. I did start making this team actually at the end of January this year, so it is, well over half a year old, this team. But anyway, it's funny because like the last regional that I played in, the Sheffield regional that I won, the team that I used in that tournament, I had that team when I entered Worlds that year, but I just didn't play it. I used something else, and Worlds went, pretty horribly. Like my worst Worlds was 2019, performance-wise. But I had my Gravity team that I won that regional with sitting along the whole time, and that team I had spent pretty much the year building, and I felt really comfortable with it. I felt really confident with it, and well, not confident, but I felt solid with it. Not confident because I don't know, never seemed to ladder well with with anything really. But I ended up winning that tournament with it, and I think maybe okay, some matchups were in my favour, some of them weren't, whatever, but like I got the rolls that I needed. There was a few hypnosises that I hit out of gravity that I needed, along the tournament, and things just went in my favour. I won the tournament, but because I felt solid with that team, I knew it really well because I'd spent basically the year building it. I think that's what helped me win the tournament, and that's kind of the philosophy that I'm going into Worlds this year with, since it has been since the end of January this year that I have been piecing together this team. But these are the 6 that we've ended up with. I do like Kieran White. I think it's such an underrated Pokemon. I think a lot of people, I don't know, like I don't understand why no one's using it. Because offensively, it is a really good Pokemon. Obviously, I think most of the time when people do use Kieran White, it is Life Orb, and there was that team that became a bit known with Calyrex and Kieran White with like Ditto and Talonflame and a few other things like that. And I didn't appreciate seeing that team because I thought, well, that's a bit too close to what I've been building, and I don't want that to become a known team. But my items, my stuff is a little bit different. I have a Butterfree on this team, which no one seems to be using this season. I quite like it, but I've got the Sash on Butterfree. The Calyrex, which people normally have the Sash on, I've actually got the Spell Tag on this one because it's a bulkier Calyrex. I've actually got a Nasty Plot on it. My Kyurem is actually Choice Scarfed because my main kind of lead with this team is Butterfree and Kieran White. A Choice Scarf Kieran White with Icy Wind. I can spaff Icy Winds off, lower their speed, and instantly put things to sleep with Butterfree. Then I've got the potential to maybe swap around, or potentially even Dynamax the Kieran and use moves that aren't Icy Wind and do some damage from there. Whimsicott, I have kind of been following a few trends of like the metagame and stuff, and there was that phase where everyone was using Cotton Spore on Whimsicott, and that kind of scared me, because obviously using an offensive team like this, speed control is, well, it's key really, isn't it? And obviously I've got Tailwind on this Whimsicott, but Cotton Spore is just the next level up of speed control. My 4th move on Whimsicott, because everyone has like an attacking move, I've got Moonblast on this, Tailwind, and Actually, yeah, I guess an attacking move and Tailwind are the two common moves, aren't they? I've actually got Helping Hand on this Whimsicott, which I think is probably standard-ish for a Whimsicott. And I've got Encore as well, since, you know, everyone knows, well, everyone who has followed my last decade in VGC knows that I like the move Encore. But, you know, I did consider a few other moves like Taunt, like Cotton Spore, like Trick Room perhaps as well, because obviously Trick Room is an issue for this team. Regieleki is Assault Vested. I did spend a lot of time deliberating between like Magnet or Life Orb, because nothing on this team has got the Life Orb. I could put it on there. But I went with Assault Vest in the end. Still not 100% on that decision, just because with a Life Orb or even a Magnet, you know, I will one-shot like a Dynamaxed Evoltol sort of thing, you know, without any intimidation or whatever. So there is the potential for me to swap that, but I'm not going to. This is what I'm going to be using. But I do like Assault Vest in that, you know, I can take a Water Spout and, you know, all that kind of stuff when Dynamaxed, you know, quite handily, and, you know, attacks from other Calyrex and all that kind of stuff. The Urshifu was actually the last thing that was put on this team, but it was put on this team because I needed better answers to Trick Room, or better kind of ways to prevent Trick Room. So this is a bit of a weird Urshifu. It is the Dark Urshifu, but I've got Close Combat, Wicked Blow. I have got Sucker Punch as well, just to maybe help a little bit if Trick Room does go up. But I've got Taunt on this Urshifu, and it's also holding the Safety Goggles. So my plan against like Trick Room teams is lead with Butterfree and Urshifu, and if they lead with Indeedee, then I can, you know, unless it's Focus Sash Indeedee, which I have seen one, but only one, I can Wicked Blow it, knock it out, and then Butterfree can put to sleep the Trick Room starter, the Trick Room setter, as long as it isn't Hatterene, which I did actually see a couple of nights ago, or, you know, Trevenant, or, you know, whatever, anything else that's immune to being put to sleep, or anything holding Goggles. I have played some Safety Goggles Palkia, and that's not good. But if they need the Mungus, then, you know, I can just taunt the Trick Room setter, you know, and go from there. Again, I suppose hoping that the Trick Room setter hasn't got Mental Herb, but even then, they would have to Rage Powder to stop me Sleep Powdering that as well. So, you know, there's still some play there. But anyway, it's an interesting Urshifu set, and the rest of the team is I mean, it's not straightforward. It kind of is straightforward, and it's not straightforward at the same time. But, you know, I've waffled on for long enough. Let's actually do some games. My plan with this little session is to basically, I'm just going to do some games on Showdown. Hopefully relaxed. Hopefully, you know, even if I lose, you know, I'll be able to stay composed and not get annoyed and all the rest of it. Because a couple of nights ago, you know, it was actually annoying, just because I knew that I wasn't playing that well. But hopefully I can focus and play some games. And then maybe we'll do, like, you know, there's this video, and maybe I'll do like another Showdown laddering video. And then I'm actually going to move on to the Switch. I have got this in-game on the Switch now, and one thing I am a little bit worried about is because I haven't played any games on the Switch in a competitive tournament, that playing on the Switch will feel alien to me, just because I'm so used to using Showdown. And so, yeah, I'm like, unfortunately, because I haven't played for literally like over a year or whatever on the actual game, you know, I'm probably down to like the lowest rank, and so I'll be trying to climb up through that. You know, maybe, I don't know how long it'll take to get to the Master Ball, but the most important thing will be me getting used to playing on the Switch. That's the idea. So anyway, that's enough waffling. That's enough talking. Let's actually do a few games. There we go. I'm nervous now. So this whole, like, the funny thing is, like, if you're watching this video and you know, you recognize this team, oh, okay, this isn't good. Like, you're like, oh, I recognize that alt. It's just, you know, just an alt, just, you know, a random word and some letters and whatever. But I think it's like mid 1600s at the moment, so we'll see if we can ladder with it. But one thing that I really don't like seeing with this team is other Kieran White and Sableye. I don't like seeing Grimmsnarl, although, yeah, obviously it's on every team. I really don't like seeing Sableye and other Kieran White. I really struggle with this kind of team. So I think I have to lead with Butterfree. and Kyurem. But, okay, yeah, we'll go with Butterfree and Kyurem. We will go with Calyrex in the back. And I kind of want Whimsicott and I kind of want Regieleki. Normally, if there's a Charizard, then I do take the Regieleki. But Whimsicott could be a good Dragon swap in. Since I can't protect my Kyurem, I could swap an Electric attack. A Dragon attack onto it. But no, I'm going to go with Regieleki. Might regret it. Okay, not the lead I was expecting. So, Sableye with Quash and, you know, just a Life Orb Kyurem is actually a big pain for this team because I'm pretty sure that a Life Orb Max Wormwind will knock out my Kyurem even if I Dynamax as well. So, yeah, my opponent's come back, thankfully. Now, again, I've got some options here. I could Icy Wind and Sleep Powder the Charizard. But I think they might want to try and taunt me or maybe yawn me with the Umbreon. So I'm going to go with Sleep Powder into the Umbreon with an Icy Wind. Charizard might protect here. And it does protect, okay. So I'm making decent moves already. Okay. Well, there we go. First game. And we come across some safety goggles. So, well, now then, the Snarl doesn't really matter. Charizard could swap into Venusaur, but if it does, you know, the Venusaur is going to be taking a super effective Icy Wind. Has Charizard got a Lumberry? No, it doesn't. And there's the yawn. Okay, that I was kind of expecting turn 1. So, Charizard's asleep. That's good. We are wasting his Dynamax turns, which is good. This is another reason why I like playing with Sleep, you know, especially with Dynamax. I really don't like Dynamax still, and Gigantamax. But if you can put them to sleep, you know, in situations like this, then obviously you're looking pretty good. I'm just going to go for a Hurricane, and they probably will yawn the Kyurem again. Obviously, there is a chance that the Charizard wakes up here, which it does. Okay, that's not good. So my Assault Vest has allowed me to survive, but now the G-Max Wildfire will say goodbye to that. But Charizard can go to sleep again this next turn. Do you think Kyurem can knock out Umbreon here, though? Because I would expect the Charizard to max guard. If Umbreon's got Taunt, it'll probably Taunt into the Butterfree. But they've just been snarling, so I am going to go for the very safe and obvious Sleep Powder into the Charizard. I don't know, do you think a Max Wormwind knocks Umbreon? I don't think it will knock Umbreon out. So I'm just going to freeze dry it. Yeah, so there's a max guard. Is it a taunt? It's a yawn. Okay, it's another yawn. Okay. So their Dynamax is gone. I've still got my Dynamax. I've got a safe Sleep Powder into the Charizard slot. Although that could and possibly will swap into Venusaur. Yeah, I mean, my Butterfree will go to sleep here. Yeah, this has got a little bit awkward, but at least we have chipped the Umbreon down, so Calyrex can probably knock it out. Sableye in the back wouldn't be good either. I am going to Sleep Powder into the Charizard. And I guess I'm just going to freeze dry the Umbreon just because I don't want anything else to get yawned. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, critical hit's nice. Just in case you're unaware, Butterfree has Compound Eyes, so this is, you know, better than a Venusaur Sleep Powder. It is 97% accurate Sleep Powder from Butterfree. But I think we've got to risk a speed tie here, haven't we? Unless I can't bank on another critical hit, can I? So yeah, this might just be the I've got to Dynamax to knock out the Kyurem. So this might be the turn that decides the game, because Umbreon is low enough so that Astral Barrage probably knocks it out. They've probably got Venus Groudon in the back, which Kyurem doesn't really mind. So I'm max speed. I'm timid max speed with my Kyurem. Is this a speed tie? If it is, I need to win it. Okay. So either that was a speed tie and we won it, or it wasn't a speed tie. And we've got an attack drop on Groudon here as well, which is nice. So Charizard has taken one turn of sleep. Charizard has taken one turn of sleep. Groudon could be Assault Vested, could have Shadow Claw, so I could protect my Calyrex this turn. Which I think I will do actually. I'll just protect, and I'm going to go for another Max Wormwind into the Charizard. Which, yeah, good, knocks it out. Groudon is at -2. Yeah, there's a Shadow Claw. And here's the Umbreon. So now I'm just going to sacrifice my Butterfree. Max Wormwind. Like, the Sun doesn't really do anything for Groudon here, does it? So I could, you know, go for the Ice move, get rid of the Sun, but another attack drop is fine, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we should be alright here. I'll try and do that. Yeah, Icy Wind is the move that we want to be doing anyway. I'm assuming it is Assault Vested at this point. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, okay. Good, okay. Won the game. That's good. So that's essentially what this team is supposed to be doing. That is, you know, that's a good first game. Especially because I was actually thinking, like, that is the slowest I've played a game on Showdown for a very, very long time. Just because I suppose that's part of the bad habits that you get into, just sort of laddering. You just sort of put moves in really quickly, really well, without sort of thinking too much about it. Could have been a speed tie. Could have been a speed tie. That the Kyurem speed tie there. I'm surprised I didn't bring the Sableye, because one thing that I really don't appreciate with this team is prankster things like Sableye with Quash, or Grimmsnarl with Iron Ball and Lagging Tail and all that kind of stuff. I did actually see. They must have seen my team and thought, oh, well, let's try that out, and made a little bit of a change. But I did see someone a few months ago using, you know, 5 of my Pokemon, but they had Indeedee over Butterfree, and I had the same consideration as well, because Psychic Terrain obviously is good, but then, you know, you're really lacking ways to, like, Butterfree is just so good, like at stopping Trick Room or preventing Trick Room, or if they've got Trick Room up with the Sash, stalling it out and all that kind of stuff. Indeedee doesn't really do that. Also, just an interesting note, if anyone knows the Australian player Daniel Walker, hello if you're watching this, Walker, doubt you are, but either way, like, I found it so funny that the regional in Australia, a month or two ago, whenever it was, like, we hadn't been building any teams together, and he enters with almost exactly my team. I can't remember what his changes were. He didn't have Butterfree. Maybe he had Indeedee instead, but he had Kyurem Black instead of Kyurem White, which I think his Kyurem Black was mixed, actually. But it was, you know, had the physical side as well, just so it can attack Assault Vested, Evoltold better as well. But I just found it so funny that, like, you know, we've both independently come up with a team that is so similar, especially considering when you look back at what I entered Worlds 2016 with, you know, my red card Volcarona and Rayquaza and Xerneas and Smeargle, that team, he had, you know, done very well laddering on Showdown. He'd made a team very, very similar to that with Red Card Arcanine and stuff as well too. Like, just, you know, completely independently. So I just thought that was very funny that, you know, we both kind of ended up with the same kind of team, you know, really legitimately independently. But either way, that's that. Let's see what we can do with this next game then. Whew. Okay, right. So yeah, maybe I'll do one game, 2 games more, maybe, and then we'll do another video of you know, proper. Ooh, I've not seen many Solgaleo, but one thing I have learned with this team is I do have to whack it early on. So they've got a pretty offensive looking team as well. But yeah, we'll do 1-2 more games or whatever, and then start recording the next video, which will be on tomorrow, I guess. So like, facing other teams like this, you are kind of forced to lead with your own Whimsicott. But then do you go Whimsicott Regieleki? Or do you go Whimsicott something else? Because I am scared of that Solgaleo. Could be Bulldoze on the Calyrex as well. In fact, it probably is. Bulldoze on Calyrex. I do kind of want to lead with my Calyrex. But I don't want to put the game into... I'm going to do it into, like, Speed Ties turn 1 sort of thing. Okay. So they have led with Solgaleo. That Thunderous could have Brutal Swing. Probably does have Brutal Swing. But also it could be Prankster with Eerie Impulse, which is actually going to be a bit of a pain. I've got Regieleki and Kyurem in the back that don't really mind Thunderous. What's Whimsicott doing this turn? Like, this is the unfortunate thing with my Whimsicott not having Taunt. I can't stop their Thunderous doing stuff straight away. This might seem like a really sort of reckless play, but I just want to get as much damage on that Solgaleo as possible. I'm expecting an Eerie Impulse. Okay. So it is Prankster. What were they taunting me for? To Will-O-Wisp. They thought I was going to Will-O-Wisp them. That's what they thought. So, okay, now they're possibly going to Tailwind, possibly going to do, you know, other naughtiness, you know, with Thunderous. Probably try and paralyze me. Oh no, there's the Eerie Impulse. Okay, so the opponent made a mistake there. Are they Trick Rooming with their Whimsicott? They're not Trick Rooming with their Whimsicott. That would have been a bit scary. I'm just going to try and Encore their Whimsicott now. Just in case it has got Trick Room. I have actually seen a few other Whimsicott with Mental Herb as well. Like, I thought I was being, you know, all cool and hip using Mental Herb on Whimsicott, but a few other people have too. Because you would expect their Sash to be on their Calyrex, wouldn't you? Oh, there it is. There's the Mental Herb. And there we go. A couple of mental Whimsicotts there. And hopefully, yeah, that does knock the Thunderous out. My Calyrex is back at neutral now. And the opponent forfeits the game. Yeah, okay. Alright, okay. Well, you know, we're almost at 1,700. You know, although we started, like, not that far away. Okay. Well, this video has been almost half an hour, so let's finish this video now. I have done a lot of talking in this video. And you've had a little bit of a taste of the team as well too. So you've got a taster of the team. You kind of know sort of what it does now. So in tomorrow's video, which I will record right now, I'm just going to be laddering more on Showdown. Well, or trying, you know, I'm going to try and ladder on Showdown. If I can get into the 1,700s, then I'll be happy. Honestly, I know the top of the ladder is like 2,000 or whatever now, but I'll be happy just to get into like 1,700s. You know, mid 1,700s, I'd be happy with. I'd take that. So anyway, it's been a long time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You've had a taster of my world's team. Yeah, catch me tomorrow if you want to see some more world's preparation, some more games with me using this on Showdown. And hopefully it'll go well. So thank you very much for being here, and goodbye for now.